We want to go to Haras Rafiq now. He is the outreach officer for a think tank dedicated to reducing extremism. He's live for us in London. Haras, give us your thoughts.
This is a horrendous attack. It's something we don't quite know who actually has undertaken the shootings. We know some of the details in terms of there were at least 2 people, and they're on the run now, and they're being chased down by the authorities in France. There are indications, and there are factors to suggest that this may well be an Islamist-inspired terrorist attack, but it is still a little bit too early because this magazine has been known for satirising people of the far right, other denominations, etc. So it could really have been anybody, but there are factors and evidence that do suggest that this may well have been an Islamist-inspired terrorist activity.
Haras, in fact, there was a tweet that this satirical magazine put out just this morning of al-Baghdadi. He appears to be giving his New Year's greeting to followers. It says, and above all, health. Is it, I mean, this just happened this morning, but it seems as though the attack was better planned than this. Do you think that they're connected?
No, not at all, because this attack has been, if you look at the groupings of the shots that have been fired, if you look at the way that these perpetrators came in, the weapons that they had, the tactics that they used, and the way that they made their escape, and especially during the middle of the day in busy Paris, this has been planned for a while. This has been well coordinated. These are people who knew what they were doing. These were people who've been training to do this and have had some training with weapons and ammunitions to carry this out. So I don't think that it's possible that this tweet was sent out and then all of a sudden 2 guys happened to decide that they were going to pick up some weapons and go down and carry out some shootings. This was coordinated and planned for a while.
All right, Sir Haras, let's take a look. Let's find another piece of the puzzle here, which is this video that was taken off the internet. Here's what we've been able to get so far. Let's see what it shows us. Let's just watch and listen for a second.
Une arme automatique. Couchez-vous! C'est une arme automatique.
All right, they're going to re-cue that one more time so you can see it again. And what is it? It's obviously the assault in action. It seems to have been taken by somebody who's obviously living nearby. I don't speak French, so I don't know what they were saying. But you saw one of the gunmen moving along. Let's watch it one more time, and then we'll discuss it.
C'est une arme automatique. Couchez-vous! C'est une arme automatique.
You know, I don't speak French, but obviously they're talking about someone's using an automatic weapon. We don't know whether the person there, Haras, Peter, Allison, was one of the gunmen or one of the victims running away. But you hear a flurry of gunfire. This obviously took some time. We don't know. Haras, you were referring to what the tactics were and how they did this. What do we know about what they did? They came, we heard from Jim Bitterman, with Kalashnikovs and maybe an RPG. An RPG is not a sophisticated piece of equipment to do something like this. What do we know about how they did this?
Well, at the moment, we know very little. I mean, these guys certainly were people who had been trained for a while, and some people are talking about self-starters, some people are using the terminology of lone wolves. We don't actually know yet who they are and what type of tactics they actually used. But if you look at some of the images that we've seen, certainly I saw before I came into the studio, certainly images of gunshots on a screen of a car. The bullet holes were very, very closely grouped. This means that these guys knew what they were doing and actually had some very sophisticated level of training and were good marksmen. The shots were very closely grouped. So certainly they knew what they were doing. They'd received some training. And the way that they made their escape, because it's very, very difficult to, certainly, you know, with CCTV monitoring and everything else, it's very difficult to escape after committing an act like that. And they seem to have done that for now. We still need to wait and see what more comes out, what more images we see, what more video we see, etc.
We have a little bit more information. Reuters is reporting that the words, "We have avenged the Prophet," were shouted during this attack and during the shooting. That's from Reuters. We haven't been able to confirm that, but we have avenged the prophet. That appears that would fit certainly into the history of the attacks on this satirical magazine.
No, absolutely. I mean, this particular magazine, as is the culture in Europe to poke fun at religious authorities, the establishment, etc., have been satirical in the past and posted images, published images of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And if these reports are true, then certainly this is a much deeper attack than just ISIL. This is something that individuals have taken to heart, and this certainly would indicate that this is Islamist-inspired.
All right, so let's take a look again at the video that we've been able to get here, Harrison. Let's just start at the beginning and tell everybody what we know at this point. We're going to show you right now a video of what is being called a terrorist attack that happened in Paris in the middle of the day. Take a look and a listen, and then we'll give you the details.
C'est une arme automatique.
All the